Hello, welcome to our last instalment of Crucible Gold. We all know that today should have seen the crowning of the 2020 Betfred World Snooker Champion, but that will have to wait for the future. So let's take you back to last year's final. Judd Trump arrived at the Crucible on the back of 3 major wins at the Masters, German Masters and World Grand Prix. And he was absolutely desperate to get his hands on the trophy 12 years after making his debut as a 17-year-old. But boy oh boy would he have to earn this opportunity the hard way. He came through a match against Tepchire Unnu in the first round in the decider with a brilliant doubled red. Then he seemed to get on a roll, and what a mouth-watering showdown. A rerun of the final from 2011 against John Higgins, the man who denied him the title 8 years previously. 5-all, very tight early on, and then Trump produced the finest performance of his career. As we join it, he's tantalisingly close to fulfilling a lifelong dream.
Thank you. Frame 27. John Higgins to break.
How does John Higgins get a handle on this fella then? As Dennis said, Judd Trump 1 frame away now from snooker immortality. He's won the UK, he's won the Masters, 1 away from the greatest prize of them all.
To phone the police, he's missed one. One thing about John Higgins, he will never give up. He'll fight right to the end. And this is what he's been doing throughout this final. He's had one of the greatest tacticians the game's ever seen in trouble so many times. So much so that that was the only shot available. There was no escape route there.
Yeah, his scoring has been that heavy that 7 centuries in that 90 odd in the last frame. That's basically half the match almost, where John hasn't taken part. That's how dominant now. Double. Kill the cue ball. Not this time. And a half chance now for John.
Yeah, he can't quite reach over it. There's so many awkward reds in the way, having to get the spider, which is unusual from this distance.
Thank you. One.
Didn't want the cannon on the yellow, obviously, so this brown is a thin cut. But there is a red over the left corner pocket. The fact that he forced it, had he have played for the single red, I expect him
Higgins,
to
one.
pot that, but forcing it made the pot more difficult.
One.
That might be the end of you couldn't call it a break. He's only potted one red, but he's covered the brown. He's hampered on the blue, so it's just a safety.
Yellow ball. Jared Trump, one.
You mentioned the 11 centuries there, Alan. I think the record before that was yourself. In a semi-final, was there 10 centuries?
Wasn't an awful lot to do with me. Ding Dunmos, he'd got 7. Yeah, that was the record, yeah.
Well, you got 3, Alan, so. I think John is resigned to just having a go at any half chance now. And if this red goes into the middle pocket, it's quite a difficult one. With the angle he has, looks a little bit easier on the overhead shot. That looks much more difficult.
One.
He's on the brown, and even if he's straight on the brown, we'll see the cue power of this player. It's quite amazing, the backspin that he generates. Well, he had an angle, so he didn't have to screw back. But not an easy chance. The pink tied up, the black near the cushion.
Six.
He's potted some lovely balls with his opposite hand. He used his right hand there. Seems very adept at that and playing it with side also. Was he just thinking about potting the blue and canning into the pink and reds? Yeah, he's just making his mind up whether to do that or not. Decided against it.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
11.
Just pick them off. There are enough reds in the open for him. And as ever, with that cue power.
12.
Well, just potted that in the wrong half of the pocket. Tests are coming up. Probably brown. Yellow a bit tricky for a left-hander. Doesn't have a lot of room for cueing it. Awkward bridging.
Yellow.
Tough shot this. Oh, yes. That's been a feature of his, well, he's played a whole tournament, and especially this final. Any time he gets a hair out of position, there's the recovery shot.
15.
There's still 3 or 4 loose reds available to Judd.
$18. 19.
Still got the choice whether to pot the blue and split the pink and reds, or he can keep picking the reds off. As I said, there's still another 3 or 4 available. In fact, when he pots this one, it'll release a red to the opposite corner.
24.
Yeah, this is the shot, isn't it?
Oh, look
25.
at this for a shot. Absolutely perfect. And there's all his friends and there's his parents. You see Jack there, and Oliver Lyons, one of the professionals, good friend of Judd's. They're all here and they're all looking very smart. That's the boys there, look like a boy band.
31.
Well, he was involved in one of the greatest finals ever last year against Mark Williams. I know he was so disillusioned after losing the last 2 finals to Mark Selby and Mark Williams, but I don't think he'd be so disappointed, but he won't be disillusioned because his opponent, and John will be the first to congratulate him if he clinches it here, he knows that he's played against a player at the peak of his form. 7 hours, and he's not that far away from his first world title. Needs to pull up a little bit.
42.
Might need another chance if this red doesn't pass into the corner. It's tight.
Yeah, I think there's enough room there. You maybe wouldn't want to risk potting it off the far jaw, but centre of the pocket or left jaw shouldn't be a problem. Almost there.
That's his brother Jack there, who's travelled all over the world with him for the last couple of years. And he looks to the heavens. There's no better feeling in the world when you're
49.
potting a few balls that's going to give you your first world championship. Just needs one more colour.
50.
I think John Higgins, playing any other player the way John has played, would have won the title this year. But this man has been awesome.
Choose shots, choose pots. Long red thump. Hail the new
62.
king, Judd Trump.
I like that, Alan. Even if the red doesn't go in, I think John Higgins will come forward, puts his cue down to congratulate Judd Trump. Absolutely incredible performance from Judd Trump to win his first World Championship. And he will be crowned the 2019 Betfred World Champion. Congratulations to Judd and all his family.
Well, Judd Trump proved himself to be a worthy champion, and after 6 major titles this season, he would surely have lined up as favourite to be crowned 2020 Betfred World Snooker Champion. But these are unprecedented times, and as we all know, it wasn't meant to be. But let's hope we're back at the sport's spiritual home sometime soon, ready to get the boys on the bays once again. In the meantime, stay safe. Bye-bye.